What up, savages? Welcome to the Savage Land. And today on the Savage Land, we have another episode of The Field. And I'm pretty much going to be picking up on the news that I left off on Sunday with Valafair, day 1 and day 2. Now, today, G.I. Joe dropped a live stream, which was another bombshell, a mortar round. And basically, I'll be doing some news on that too. But what we'll do first, we'll go through Valafair, day 3 on Sunday, and then we'll drop to the G.I. Joe news. So basically, on Valafair, on day 3 on Sunday, I actually forgot something that happened on day 2. The ghillie suit, which is dope, man. It's soft goods. It's nothing too much to it, man, but I'm not a customizer, and if that thing is like 20 bucks and under, I can mess with it, man. It looks really good, and I can't wait to put Stalker in it, because that's what a Stalker does, a Ranger does. He's in a ghillie suit, and he gonna get busy with it, which you can put on some other Joes, whoever you want, but it looks good. Basically, also, I was wrong. Also with the body types, they had 3 different bodies that they showed off. They had one that was about 6.7 inches, which is a bigger body that he's gonna do, because I've been wanting Valaverse to do some bigger bodies, because everybody's pretty much the same mold when it comes to men besides Kurak, and I think that's the biggest guy I've seen and the only big guy I've seen. And they also have 2 more 6.25 body ranges that are the same height, but they have just different aspects to them. And you can see the renders up there on the screen pretty much showing off the different body modes, which is good. So I was wrong about that. And also, I was right about one thing, but I was wrong about another. I thought the Vanguard, which is the vehicle that they are doing, was going to be the big reveal, but it wasn't. So we'll go through the big reveal first, because be honest with you, it looks good, but it's nothing I'm crazy over, because I'm not really into the lore of Valaverse, but it is a good looking figure. And this Crimson Shadow figure. It's a robot that pretty much makes the weapons like Destro, but they don't have a human. It's a robot that makes the weapons. It looks like an army builder, but I don't know how much it's going to cost. But they saved that for the end. But my biggest thing is that Vanguard, okay? That thing looks sick, man. It sits 4 people in there. Actually 4 people in the seats, 1 in a turret. That's what you call it. Go around the machine gunner with the 50 cal on top. And then a guy can sit in the back in the cargo. And it's basically like just a military like SUV truck, and it's dope, man. So the biggest thing on this is price. What is he gonna charge? And I know he's trying to beat out G.I. Joe, so he should charge pretty good. Like I said, I'm not biased. I am one of the ones who wanted that engine of vengeance, but hey, life goes on. And if this Vanguard comes in at a good price, I'm messing with it. I'm thinking about getting 3, and it's definitely gonna be for the Joes. So depending on price, 2 or 3, but I know definitely 2. And I'm gonna have my HISS tanks where they supposed to be, and those Vanguards will be where they're supposed to be. So Valafair was a pretty good weekend. If you a diehard Valaverse, I know you was pretty much going crazy. If you were in between both lines like me, there's some things you can pull from it. Oh, and also Colonel Siege looks good. He is like a General Hawk type character, and that's one of the ones I'm probably gonna pick up, because like I said, I don't get all Valaverse. I just kind of pick and choose what I want, but what I mostly get from them is accessories, and like I said, they complement G.I. Joe to me, and that Vanguard will definitely complement G.I. Joe. But Colonel Siege, I believe that's his name, because it's been a couple of days since I looked at the render, but he looks good. He looks good. He comes with a cigar in hand, comes with a cigar out of hand. He just looks like a tough, no nonsense, somebody kind of like on a Major Blood type level, but he's a good guy. He's like their General Hawk. So that was pretty dope, man. Valafair was cool. All right, so now we're gonna go in G.I. Joe, and I'm gonna kind of run through this and show the pictures, because my baby girl up sleeping, and I don't want to wake up. I don't want to get this news out. And also, you see I'm on my fly Tony Stark shit today. Nice elaborate robes. It's a Woo Wednesday. But hey, let's get into the real deal of this whole situation, because it's not about me. Name reveals. Okay, so G.I. Joe started off with name reveals, and I would say this from the giddy up, they surprised me. If you watch my last video from a couple of days ago, you said, well, it's kind of gonna be an underwhelming like live stream. I already kind of know what's coming, but they surprised me in some ways, and I'll tell you why. But at first, we'll go through their rundown, and it was quick too. It wasn't all this crazy stuff, this his and hers and all that. They got down to business because I came in like 11:15. They was already on their 5th figure and they got out of there. But let's get it. So name reveals was Mutt and Junkyard. They didn't have any digital renders, anything like, of course, no release dates. Just pipeline reveals, and Quick Kick and Big Boa. So those are the people that are coming as next up on the menus, next up at bat, next for the renders, and then of course after that the physical form. So as far as renders, they got Tunnel Rat, which he looks good. He looks modern, but to his original. He has his big gun. I don't know what type of gun that is, man. I don't know if that's a 50 or what, but it's a big one. And they also gave him a small pistol and lights for his head, because he's a tunnel rat, which is, that's what they did in Vietnam. You ever seen Forrest Gump? They're like, Gump, get in that hole. And he grabbed that gun with the flashlight, went in. That's a tunnel rat. So basically, they gave him a flashlight and a small pistol. So, you know, you can go in there, get something. You can't really be in a small tunnel. You gotta think, Vietnamese people, and I'm not even trying to be funny or small with smaller people, so they got small holes. So you can't have nothing big, just the bare minimum. Go in there, see what's up, see somebody hit them. So basically, Tunnel Rat look good. The new Firefly. Now, I like the old Firefly, but the new one looks great. And I'm definitely gonna pick him up. And what the new one is what I've been talking about. Like when G.I. Joe Classified first came out, they had the slimmer legs, really no tone to him. But this guy looks like he's on a slimmer buck, but he just has a little bit more bulk to him. He's a little bit more of a fuller figure. And he has a backpack. He has a remote control car this time instead of a drone, which in my playability, that's what I do. I think I don't have it down here, but I had like a little Deadpool car with a head on it, and I said if I ever do a picture, I'll do Firefly driving that. So they gave him a remote control car, a bomb on his pack. So he's different. He doesn't have that big bulky vest anymore. He's more of the original Firefly. So, and then they also got Low Light coming out, which I know Low Light wasn't a huge fan of him, but he looks good. He looks true to form. He's a basically simple plain figure, pretty much dark gray with the red goggles. He almost looks like or red glasses. He looks like he could be like part of Cobra the way his uniform layout is, but he's a Joe. And then you got Shadow Tracker, which is giving me like Rastafarian vibes, and he's got the nice locks with the green and red. It looks like the Jamaican colors, and he just looks like a very jungle equipped guy. He looks like a human Predator, basically, and not like Predator like but Predator like movie, you know, like just the way he just looks like a natural jungle guy, and I don't know anything about him. He came way after my time with G.I. Joe, but he looks good, man, and I'm open to the new characters if you're doing it right, and they're looking good. So pretty much those were the renders which will be up for the next physical, you know, showing probably next live stream, which will probably be like June or something like that, I'm thinking. So let's get into the actual pre-orders, and this is the part where the live stream was surprising to me, because that bombshell that they dropped at the beginning of February, like they just had those renders. That came from out of nowhere, and you know the process of G.I. Joe Classified, they just kind of moved kind of crazy. You know, you back in the day you didn't know when you was gonna see product, but this time it's here. Those renders came from out of nowhere, and now, which I didn't think we would see, is the physical form of all those great figures. So I'm gonna run through them right quick. Pretty much Copperhead, and I'll run through them. I'll say what I feel about them right quick. I would just say underwhelming, but he was one I was looking forward to, and excuse me. And he just didn't look like there was too much to him. He would kind of remind me of Crocmaster, which he didn't look bad. He's a good figure, but he's just like a kind of a run-of-the-mill big guy. What I did get vibes off of from him, he looks like a football player. So all you customizers out there, he looks like a football player with a helmet on, just minus his shoulder pads. So, you know, like Gridiron Studio sells like the shoulder pad kit. You could like do some fun stuff with him, like with that, and it's very minimal. It comes with like a machete and like a pistol with a sight on it, and I think he has another hand pistol on him. But Copperhead, classic Bazooka, aka Lenny. He looks more and more like Lenny every time I see that figure, but it looks good. If we've seen Bazooka already, great figure. He's just in his classic green pea suit green fatigues. And he has his red, white, and blue jersey on, Patriots jersey. And Torpedo looked good. I'm not a huge crazy over Torpedo, but they nailed him as far as a scuba guy is supposed to look like. And he's not a bad figure at all. He actually looks great. Shipwreck looks a little cartoony to me. far as the face sculpt on there. And man, I was really expecting him to be a rock star like Outback. Like Outback looks great, and I thought Shipwreck would have that rugged kind of look to him, but he looks kind of cartoony to me in the physical form. He doesn't look bad. He's just not as explosive as I thought he would be, and great as I thought he would be. Rock and Roll is another rock star. He's the new rock star. I mean, this man looks good. He looks real good. His tats look good from that side shot. His hair looks good. The blonde hair, his build, his bulk, his loadout, which is simple, but all the bullets, the bandoliers, the big gun, the helmet. He looks good, and he comes with extra hands, which I'm not a crazy fan over extra hands, but he comes with extra hand because he has like the little rocker hand that he has with, you can show off his hand tattoos. But he looks good. I mean, he looks good. I like Rock and Roll. I'm definitely grabbing him, and he can almost be an army builder in somewhat if you take his head off and you want to do different things with him, man. So that's going to be a great release. Scrap Iron. Oh, before I go into the next one, all those figures, they had the chart scale here so they can try to give you how much these things cost. Those are called mainline releases, what I just went over. I believe that was 5 figures. Those are $24.99, which we've seen that price. They just give them some clarification because we already seen these prices. Their deluxe figures, which will be Snow Job, will be $34.99. And Snow Job's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. And then they have, of course, the 2-packs like treated like animals, which used to be $41, but now they're $44.99. So they express those 3 price ranges. So Scrap Iron would be treated like an animal with this drone, which it looks great. It has the it has the missile effects, it has the launch effects on there, which are pretty much compatible. Oh, now's not the time. Oh, that's my wife. Hey, can you give me like 3 minutes? I'm gonna call you right back. All right.
Hi, Dada.
Hey, baby. So we pretty much got Scrap Iron, and Scrap Iron is being treated like a 2-pack, like with an animal. So he's $44.99, but he's really more than a 2-pack with an animal because he has this great big tank drone with these missile fire effects that are also switched over and compatible to Bazooka. You can put those fire missile effects in Bazooka, which I did that with a photo not too long ago where I used Cyrax smoke effect that comes out his chest, but now you have something that can actually fit in that port of that Bazooka and blast out. So Scrap Iron looks great. Then they gave him this like disfigured face, like Two-Face on the side, where it's got these peak scarrings for like an explosion, and it's almost like a backstory to why he wears that helmet, and he has a dead eye. He looks good. He looks good. His digital render looks good. His physical form looks good. So Scrap Iron is like definitely one that's going to get copped. And then the 2-pack Cobra girls look good too. They almost kind of a liking to the Valaverse, playing Delta and Desert girls, man. So those are good. Those are $54.99. So those are 2-packs. So, and then they come with blast effects and a lot of switchable heads. So you're looking at about $27 a piece for those 2 Cobra Trooper women, but they come with so much. They're loaded out. I think the price is warranted. And then the last guy is Snow Job, which is $34.99, and he's a deluxe. To me, it almost seemed like Torpedo almost about got just as much stuff as Snow Job, but Snow Job has an extra head and just a few more other things. I think this is more warranted than what they did for that Kamakara. Okay, Kamakara, he was loaded out with a bunch of BS. Let's just be quite honest. All that was bullshit. Okay, but Snow Job, at least he's coming loaded out, and hey, if you want him, he's definitely a Hasbro Pulse, and the girls 2-pack is a Hasbro Pulse also exclusive. So you have to order strictly online from there. But it was a good showing. It surprised me. It was a great week for toys. Action Army toys. It was a great week. It was a great week for action figure news. Especially if you're into G.I. Joe and Valaverse. I think these two showings were great. And like I said, one goes with the other. It's definitely still a war going on. It's definitely still... God, Jesus Christ. There's definitely still a war going on. There's definitely still mortar shells flying, bullets flying, man, but it's all for the good of the customers, man. And Valafair, they showed out. The G.I. Joe team, they showed out, man, and we got some all pretty good figures I think everybody can be excited about. But if this is your first time watching my channel, give me a like, comment, subscribe. This is the Savage Land. This is the field where I try to pretty much do all my G.I. Joe stuff at, man. And hey, till the next time. God bless. Jesus, everybody's bothering me today.